All right, all right, all right. I bleed orange, Clemson Sports Network. Such a time as this. Welcome to our Saturday, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, I bleed orange live show. We're your host, Josh the Gorilla Man Starnes. We got a lot to talk about. Anyways, a lot of stuff going on in the sports world. Like to first of all thank Michael Dent Insurance. It's sponsored by Michael Dent. He's over in Powdersville, All-State Agency. I think he sells a couple more lines, but it's right off the main drag of 153. It's right behind McDonald's, right across the street from Ingles. Go see him. He's been a sponsor of ours for like 3 years. So we got a lot of stuff going on. Also, remember to join our podcast, like and subscribe and share. We do it every Tuesday night at 7:30 with Jacob McDonald and the Rowdy Tiger up in Rock Hill. So, all right. So it's game day. When I say it's game day, we got a lot of games going on. But as far as Clemson, well, like I said, I've never been this excited about basketball. We're playing the Miami Canes, the U, okay? And basketball, Clemson's 5-0, 15-3. First time we've been 5-0 in the ACC ever. I'm saying we're going 6-0. Vegas has Clemson favored. But outside of Duke, Miami, and outside of Duke and Clemson, Miami is the only other team that's actually undefeated in the ACC, in ACC play. So we're on an 8-game win streak. We got everybody's coming together. Just some little statistics. Our offense, which 77.6 points a game. I mean, that's enough to win all your games, but that's not really a astronomical number. It's consistent. But the main thing is we're averaging 77.6 points a basketball game, but the defense is only allowing 64.8. So when you look at that, that's about a 13-point difference. So if your defense is only allowing 60.8 points a game to the opposition, the other team, that's a formula for victories. Dad always said a great offense wins games, but a great defense wins championships. And you're keeping defense may not be sexy, but I'm telling you, you'd rather have a great defense than a great offense. And when you're only allowing the other teams to score 64.8 points a game, that's a recipe for a championship run, in my opinion. So I think this is one of the best basketball teams we've ever had. And I think nobody's really standing out. You got Justin Porter and you've got Justin Porter and RJ Godfrey basically scoring double digits every game, kind of consistent. Porter's had 2 games over 20 points. He's also averaged 12.4 points a game since the BYU game. So, it's pretty consistent. But they're making their free throws, which is really important. They're playing lights out defense. They're getting a lot of turnovers, and they're playing good basketball. And we got momentum. We got excitement. And not only that, I can't think of another time that we've actually had excitement with the men's basketball. And don't forget, the women's basketball is having a heck of a run. So we got two different teams, the male and female teams, both bringing excitement into Tiger Nation in basketball, making basketball great again. Let's go. I'm excited. So anyways, they're going to be playing. Tip-off is at 2:15. So at Little John. So we got a lot going on. Football season is officially over, but actually it's never really over because you got the transfer portal, you got the recruits. Clemson currently ranks number 24th in the nation in recruits. We've had 20 come on. I believe we've had 9 in defense, a couple in offense. Some breaking news. Pirelli, the guy who signed January the 6th, the guy out of California, who was the ACC Defensive Player of the Year. Well, guess what? I wake up this morning, he's no longer with Clemson. He's at Ole Miss. And I'm not accusing, I'm not saying anything, but Dabo has mentioned something about tampering. There have been some rumors that actually Ole Miss is trying to block some people from transferring out. You can't do that. You got to do it the right way. But, it's just changed things. You got a guy that commits, he signs up for class, he enrolls in classes, and then the next thing you know, you wake up and he's at Ole Miss. I'm telling you, when Cade Kubiak is the second highest paid player, second highest paid person on the staff, paid more than Garrett Riley was paid more than Tom Allen's paid. The only body get paid more. It's just a weird atmosphere. You got a guy making $4 million a year to play football. And we've had the conversation before on the podcast. I've talked to him about it. This is basically for me. Yeah, I'd rather make $4 million a year than make zero, but I'm a competitor. Most people are competitors. I don't think it should affect the way you play, whether you get paid or not. You should play the same. But evidently, there's been some talk that some of these players this year, because we're all drinking that orange Kool-Aid, and some of these players, because they're getting paid anyways, just didn't really care. They didn't step up, especially on the defensive side with Peter Woods and some of these guys. It just wasn't the kind of season that we expected to see. So going on that note, just real quickly, baseball will be ramping up here February the 13th. So we're getting to the end of college football season, which nobody really saw Indiana and Miami in the mix. And I'm sorry, I'm just not going to, there's no gray area with me. You always know what's on my mind. I won't play games. I'll tell it the way I feel it and feel it the way I tell it. We got Indiana and Miami. I'm not going Miami just because they're in the ACC. Miami has actually won 5 national championships. They've actually won 6. They got one stolen from Ohio State. So I'm not on the ACC train where I want Miami to win because I'm not a Miami fan anyways, even though we're in an ACC. I really love the Cinderella story of Indiana. I mean, making football great again. Nobody, I think they had a 1 in 200. I mean, the odds were crazy to even make. Even Miami, both of these teams were not predicted to be in the national championship at this time. But you got Indiana undefeated, playing lights out ball. You got to love their quarterback, class act. And it's good seeing the Indiana nation, who's never been in this position, have a chance to win the national championship. They're playing far better than anybody. I'll tell you, Miami's it's going to be a physical game. It ain't going to be a blowout like it was with Oregon. I'll tell you that much. But I think Indiana on both sides of the ball, if they can protect their quarterback, because Miami has got a tough defensive line there. If they can give their quarterback some time, Indiana's going to win this game. It's not going to be a blowout. I don't think it's going to be a 1-score game. I think it may be a 10-score win by Indiana. I think it's going to be a good game, but I think Indiana's got this game. I think they're going to go in to Miami, to their own home turf. They're playing in Miami. I mean, who would think that? They're playing in Miami. Nobody thought that Miami would be in the national championship, and they basically playing in the backyard. So they do have that going for them. But I just think there's just too much on the Indiana side. Indiana has not lost a game yet. Deserve to be there. In my opinion, they have one of the best college football teams that have ever played. And that goes all the way back to LSU and Joe Burrow days. So a lot's going on with the transfer portal, the NIL. It's just crazy. When you got football players get paid more than the coaches, and then you got guys bidding, here we got $1 million for you. This team's going to pay me $2 million. It's crazy. It's crazy. Should players get paid? Yeah. But, I think $1,000 a week for everybody to, take care of the food, the gas, and a little bit of extra spending money is fine. But now we've gotten up into this big time money, and you got a guy coming straight out of high school who's making $4 million a year. You got Arch Manning over there who's making $7 million. Come on, man. I mean, come on. 20 years old, I guarantee you he's not living on campus with and that's why you see him riding around with 2 brand new cars paid for. So anyways, we no longer have Farrelly from California. He's gone, just like that. And this is not me, but Dabo's talking about some tampering. I mean, he signed up on January the 6th. We got all excited about that. What are we, January the 16th now? 10 days later, he's going to Ole Miss. Tell me there ain't more money. So anyhow, got that going on. We got a couple NFL games. Got the Bills in Denver. Not to get off into the NFL out of college sports, but I see Josh Allen taking that all the way to the Super Bowl. I mean, you had the Buffalo Bills basically played 4 Super Bowls in a row and lost every one of them. So I got a feel for them. So anyways, Tigers undefeated in ACC play. Everybody's playing consistent. So you got a defense that's holding the other teams under 65 points, which is huge. And so I've gotten to the point where I'm so excited, I'm just waiting on the next basketball game. So here in a couple hours, we want to have Tigers playing at Little John. And Brad Barnell, I tell you, has done a great job there. Between the time we lost to Boston College in the ACC first round of the ACC championship, ACC tournament, and everybody's calling for his fire. And then all of a sudden we made that run to the Elite Eight. Last year we had the best record we ever had. I think this year is going to be better by far. But last year we made it all the way to the NCAA tournament. I don't know how we lost to McNeese, but when you score 13 points in the first half, you're not going to win too many basketball games. Crazy thing is, if we had a couple more minutes to play in that game, we would have won. We actually made a run for it there at the end. So the basketball's looking good. Baseball's going to be heating up. I think, well, Clemson's ranked number 21 in basketball. I don't want to be overconfident, but I see us winning today and that breaking the top 20, going around 17, 18, 19. We've been talking about on the podcast. We're talking about it in Clemson land. We've got over-respected. It used to be we were under-respected in football. Now we're over-respected. We're ranked 4th going in to the season this year. And we were actually favored, I think, in every game but one. And we won, 7-5, ended up 7-6. So, and then basketball, last year it took us forever to get in the top 20, even after we beat Duke. So we got a lot of momentum going there. We're playing good, solid basketball. Everybody's playing together. We're moving the ball around, taking good shots, getting rebounds, making our foul shots. Defense, unbelievable. Getting a lot of turnovers in defense, block shots, steals. All that's looking good. So just get your popcorn ready. Get your TV. I think it's on the ACC network. I know it's 2:15. Should be on the ACC network. Get your popcorn ready. Sit back and enjoy just a little bit of Little John and another Clemson victories. What I see coming out of Clemson, which would take us to 6-0 in the ACC and 16-3 overall. Which technically, if you followed Clemson basketball this year, we could easily be undefeated. The games that we lost are actually ranked teams that we actually, in the BUY game, I think BUY is actually at number 11 right now. And we were up by 26 points in the first half and lost that game. So, and I think after a couple of those losses, I think Brad, what he did, he's not only, known to getting off to a good start, kind of like Georgia Bulldogs, except we were just the opposite. Georgia Bulldogs in football, they don't usually have the best first half. And then everybody's not so fast, my friends, because Georgia would always come out and find a way to win in the second half. Clemson, starting out in basketball this year, have a great first half, go into halftime and eat some donuts and drink some orange Kool-Aid and come out in the second half and let a 26-point lead against the top 10 ranked team, them come back and beat us. There's no sense in that. And I think Brad had a good talking to him when we're playing a good, solid 40 minutes. It's not always how you start, it's how you finish. We're starting good. We're finishing good. We got momentum coming. Before I die, because I was going to Clemson football games before I was born in my mom's womb. I was born in Clemson, the December baby. We've never really had a basketball. We haven't been known as a basketball team. Before I die, I want Clemson basketball to be known as a basketball school too, not just a football school. And I think this is the year that we do that. I think. And I know I shouldn't get ahead of myself. We got to take one game at a time. That's all we can do. But everything's looking good. We're, like I said, we're fixing to go on an 8-game winning streak. I don't see us losing. Vegas has got us winning. And we just got the momentum. We're just playing that solid. And I think being at, Little John's going to make the difference. Miami, don't get me wrong, is a good team, a very good team. But being at the momentum we have, being at Little John, I think Clemson probably going to win this by 10. And we've actually been winning against good teams here lately by double digits. It hadn't been that close. So Justin Porter, senior Justin Porter's playing good. RJ Godfrey's playing good. Those two pairs are in double figures every game. Porter, 12.4 points a game, averaging since the BUY game, solid rebounds. Everybody's just coming together. One day, one game, so-and-so have a good game. The next game, so-and-so have a good game. And it just all kind of combine, and everybody comes together, and you usually have that one guy that has that one good game. Number 22 in the NCAA in the nation right now. Going to win today. Going to go from 15-3 to 16-3. Going to be 6-0 in the ACC. It's the first time we've been unbeaten 5-0 since Clemson played basketball, which goes way, 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 way back. So anyhow, 2:15 at Little John. Monday night, Indiana versus Miami. And they're playing in Miami, so that's going to be a good game. We got a lot of NFL games on today. So just, I guess the biggest news is at this point in time is Clemson did not have the kind of season they wanted in football. Nobody saw us being 7-5. Nobody saw a number ranked number 4 ranked Clemson and a number 2 ranked Penn State playing in the Pinstripe Bowl in a snowstorm. But it is what it is, and we're where we're at, and we've had a pretty good all season so far. We were talking on the podcast about the new offensive coordinator, Chad Moore's hire, and it seems like there's no gray area here in Clemson. It seems like everybody like that's a terrible hire, and the other half of Clemson like that's a great hire. I personally, when I saw it, after I thought about it, and after I looked at it, I really think that Chad Morris is a good hire. And I'll tell you why. Chad Morris, first of all, was familiar with Clemson. He coached there for a while, and he didn't get fired, by the way. He left for a better job at SMU, and I can't say I blame him, but he was there during the Todd Boyd days, Sammy Watkins days, Deshaun Watson days, and he had he's the exact opposite of Garrett Riley. In other words, they call him the Red Bull energy bunny energizer. The guy's drinking Red Bull. He's got that energy. Unlike Garrett Riley, he's not afraid to take shots. The fast-paced offense was working back then. If you don't believe me, look at the record. Look what we did. Look what we did with Todd Boyd, the 4th and 16, going down and beating LSU in the Peach Bowl in Atlanta. He's not afraid to take a shot. He's not afraid to do the fast-paced offense, and he's unpredictable. Unlike Garrett Riley, we could actually sit there, and when the fans can sit back and kind of like they're going to throw a bubble screen, he's going to do it up the middle. When the fans can call the plays like that, when it got so predictable with Garrett Riley, just think what the opposing team's defensive coordinator was thinking. Just think about that. If we're figuring it out, they've got to figure it out. You need to have somebody that's going to jazz it up a little bit of razzle-dazzle, not afraid to take the shots. I'm a big believer you got to establish the running game. Once you establish the running game, it opens the door. We got that running back from SMU. Let's hope he stays. I didn't see us losing this guy today. So we got Gideon Davidson coming back, and we got the SMU running back. He's the fastest guy in the nation, they say. So if you establish the running game and you can get 4 or 5 yards on the first down, it opens up the playbook. So big take in what we're going to really have to straighten up during this year. And we don't have enough transfer portals actually on offense. We've got 9 of them in defense. We're lacking on the offense. We got to straighten up that offensive line. Say what you want to about Cade. I know he didn't have the year. You had the year before. And I'm telling you, he was running for his life the whole time. The blocking was horrendous. And they kind of straightened it up a little bit about after midseason, but it may not be sexy, people, but the game is won at the line. The guard, everybody knows who the quarterback is, but 98% of the people can't tell you who a right guard or a left guard is, and they're just more important, if not as important as the quarterback. Because when you see the 70-yard touchdown pass, when you see the 55-yard run, a lot of times you don't understand. If it wasn't for the offensive line blocking, doing their part, their job, that never would have happened. It's always the running back, which he should get credit. The quarterback should get credit for throwing the 70-yard touchdown pass. But it's the offensive line is where it's run. In the trenches is where football's won. It's not the sexiest place. And they don't get paid the most, and they don't get all, But I'm telling you, man, if your quarterback and your line's taking care of you, you ought to take them out to a steak dinner every damn Friday night. And we just weren't taking care of the quarterback. I mean, Matt Luke, I think it's a good hire, but we got to straighten that offensive line up. I mean, there are too many sacks. There's too much pressure, too many push plays there. So that's the big thing we can hope for in the offseason. We made some good, we dabbed into the transfer portal like we never have. Last year we had 3. Now we're up to 9, 10, 11, something like that. The big debate here in Clemson land, and I'm just going to give you my opinion about this. I think, and I don't think it's going to happen at this point. It's not going to happen at this point, but they've already closed the doors. The big thing here is I thought we should have gone out there and got a stud as a quarterback. The worst possible scenario is you're going to have Chris Vizzino, you'll have Denson, and you're going to have some guy, you could pay them $4 million, whatever, get them on there, let them battle it out for the position, in spring and the summer ball. But we didn't do that. So it looks like we got Chris Vizzino. My problem with him is I haven't seen a lot from him. I mean, the guy seems like he's been on the team as long as Hunter Renfrow was on the team. And he's had hardly any playing time except for the SMU game, which he played all right. He played all right second half. So, and then we got Denson, and they're calling the second coming of Deshaun Watson, but we saw him against the Furman game, and he played in the fourth quarter. And to be honest with you, all I really saw was a lot of good running, a little bit of Michael Vick, a little bit of Deshaun Watson scrambling and running, but I don't know how accurate he is throwing the ball. I don't know if he hit the backside of a barn. We didn't see a lot of throwing there, so we don't have a lot to go by on the two quarterbacks. And then we got Tate, the freshman there, and nobody's talking about him. He's just kind of the golden wonder boy, the blonde hair. It looks like he's the beach stud that surfs all the time. We don't know. We don't know. So those are the three quarterbacks we're working with right now, unless something happens. There's been some talk about Virginia's quarterback, if they can get some more eligibility. Because guess who the offensive coordinator's son is? You got it. Virginia's quarterback. That would be dad-son relationship there in offense. We don't know if that's going to happen, but there's been some buzz about that. Whether Morris is going to come. The main thing is just peeling this thing with the NCAA. Well, he's got another year of eligibility. So you just don't know what's going to happen, And, the thing with waking up and seeing that thing with Forelli, we were so excited because you had Sammy Brown back there in linebacker, Forelli, the double dual threat there back at linebacker, two studs back there, and now he's gone. And you got to ask yourself, and Dabo's not accusing, but he's talking tampering. You got to ask yourself, if the guy comes and enrolls in Clemson University and signs a contract with Clemson football to play on the team, then all of a sudden, right before the transfer portal ends, he's going down to Ole Miss, just like that. So it just seems a little suspect. So anyhow, a lot going on with I Bleed Orange, a lot of stuff going by. Behind the scenes, some breaking news happened yesterday. I'll get into it a little bit later in the podcast Tuesday night, but we're going to be able to have a lot more influence over in Clemson and what we're able to do with our marketing, with our clients. We've been approved for some stuff, and it's just freaking exciting. It's just too much to talk about right now, but it's going to help our sponsors out a lot better. We're going to be able to bring more to the table, more to offer. Like they say in the Jefferson thing, moving on up, moving on up. So I appreciate you guys. This is living the dream. We're going to be doing this every Saturday at 11 a.m. because, we're doing those live shows on Saturdays anyways during football season. I'm thinking, well, I'm paying for this Restream. I'm paying for this service, paying to do these live shows. I might as well do a live show on the off season and kind of keep better informed. So you got the podcast at 7:30 on Tuesday nights. You got this every Saturday at 11 a.m. Join, subscribe. Our podcast numbers are going way up, and it only helps us. It helps our sponsors. So feel free to ask any questions. We'll feel free to give you any answers. We're also doing some stuff at the Hall of Fame Sports Bar and Grill over on Wade Hampton. We're going to be doing a show there every month. We're going to be covering it all. We're going to be doing some sports trivia. We're going to have the DMV, the HDMI cable hooked up to the big screen TV. We're going to do the live sports show, me and Big Mike. And then we're going to do sports trivia. And then we're going to be giving away, I don't know, gift certificates or something to whoever wins the sports trivia. So it'll be a lot of fun. You got these sports bars and you got trivia and you got a band and you got karaoke, but it's a sports bar. And he's like, we need a sports network that's going to show up kind of like their home base and be down here every Saturday. So we're excited about that partnership and what that's going to bring to the table. So we're going to be seeing you once a month live at Sports Bar and Grill. Hall of Fame Sports Bar and Grill in Wade Hampton. As you're going into downtown to Greenville, if you go down a little bit further, on the other side of the road is Henry's Smokehouse. So that's kind of the area it's in. They also have one of these big, like ESPN game day buses. It's got Clemson on there. It's got Georgia. It's got Carolina. It's just a big old bus. They're probably going to do a couple live shows there. So, like I said, we are the most exciting, fastest growing sports network in the nation, and we're just getting started. So get your popcorn ready. Get excited about basketball. I am. I'm more excited about basketball than I ever have been. I can't wait to see this Miami game. And the big thing is, they can say what they want to about the ACC in football. But when it gets to basketball, nobody can really say that the ACC is weak in basketball, especially when you've had the heydays of Michael Jordan and UNC, and you got Duke, and you have NC State out there has done some things, from Virginia. The big question here is in the ACC is the Duke. We beat them last year. I mean, what a game. What a game. We beat them last year down at Little John. $500 ticket, get you a good seat. But one thing I noticed, one thing I can take back from last year when we beat them, I was down there, is I've been to Raleigh, I don't know how many times. And I know from Spartanburg, it's a 5-hour drive. So from Clemson, it's probably a 6-hour drive. There ain't no hop, skip, and jump. So we were in downtown Clemson, College Avenue, just kind of going around and getting something to eat, shopping a little bit before the game because it's games later in the day. I actually saw just as many Duke fans, if not more, than the Clemson fans. We're talking about Durham, North Carolina. So this year, in other words, Duke loves their basketball, rightfully so. They've got their legendary basketball team, college basketball, their brand. Duke and UNC is a brand in basketball. Clemson's not in basketball. I'm hoping that changes. I'm hoping we start getting mentioned in the basketball arena. Because, in my opinion, football's America's, everybody's got their own opinion. Somebody, maybe their favorite sport's water polo, but the consensus is all across the table in the United States of America, football is probably the most popular sport in America. It just is. Second most popular sport, I would have to say, is basketball and then baseball. I know baseball is pretty popular, but baseball is not as fun to watch as basketball, and football is more fun to watch than all the sports. But I would like to see our basketball team make a run past. Let's go to fun. Let's just get an ACC championship, okay? That's the one thing. Then we'll go to the NCAA. Let's get an ACC championship. We got 20-something in football. Let's get an ACC championship, and then we'll worry about March Madness. So March is not that far away. So I'd like to thank all our sponsors. We've had an incredible year. This year is going to be even better. Michael Dent, if you're watching. If you're not, go to Michael Dent Insurance. You can look it up on Facebook. You can look it up online. Allstate Agency is right there in Powdersville. I actually went to school with Mike. He graduated from Clemson. He's had, I think, 3 kids. 1 or 2 are in. I can't keep up with it, but they're all Clemson people. He's a good dude. He'll find you a good rate, good, honest guy. Like I said, he's been with us about 3 years. I was in insurance for 20 years, and it's all about marketing. And when you look at insurance, you want to know who's got all the money in the world? It's insurance companies. They know how to do business, but it's not the sexiest thing to sell, but it's something you got to have. You got to have life insurance. You got to have health insurance. You got to have homeowners, and you better have car insurance, because if you get pulled over and you don't, you're in trouble. But you got to get excited about insurance. You got to market it. That's why the Duck has nothing to do with insurance. But they had the best. Geico, Aflac, some of these insurance commercials, they're some of the marketing geniuses of the world, because you got to make insurance exciting, because it's really all insurance is money. It's invisible, and it's something you got to have. And so you got to have it, and you don't have to have it. You can go to the hospital without insurance. You can drive a car and get arrested if you don't have insurance, and you can die and leave your family with no money. But the last thing you want them to think about is money. It just makes good sense to take care of your insurance needs. And Michael Dent's the guy to do it. Life insurance. Get your life insurance. 10 out of 10 people, I know that, I'm not trying to be funny, but 10 out of 10 people die, and you got to have life insurance, because the last thing you want your family to worry about when you die is money. It's bad enough time you're going through. You want that part of the equation to be taken care of. Car insurance is a racket. You got to have it, but you don't want to have to pay any more than you have to. And he'll shop the market and find you the best deal. So Michael Dent Insurance, we appreciate you, brother. And go Tigers. Like I said, we're going to keep these short and sweet. We usually do these 20-something minutes on Saturday. I've had a couple cups of coffee. I'm kind of wound up. I'm ready to go. Trying to think of anything else we can talk about. Go down to Little John today, and let's bring a victory at Little John against the U. Let them lose today, and they're going to lose Monday. Let's make basketball great again, and we appreciate you guys that come on and follow us. And what else? A couple other sponsors I want to mention. Got Vapor Nation. They're coming up for their 4th year renewal in March. We got Industrial Incorporated. We did the South Carolina Clemson game there. They're coming up their renewal in March. Anderson Ford's coming up for renewal. Everybody's coming up for renewal. We got some new people coming on board. Also, we might be doing a show at Jimmy's Cards and Collectibles. We did a game down there in October, and I was in there yesterday. I ate over at Mama Penn's, and he wants us to come in. We may do a live pregame basketball show. Maybe the Duke game we were playing up in Duke, we'll go down there 2 hours before. Me and Big Mike will break it down like we never broke it down before. Also, we got the spring game coming up, and everybody's asking about the spring game. When is it? When is it? And of course, they hadn't officially announced it, but it always is the first Saturday of April. So if you got a calendar and you Google it, it's going to be the first Saturday. That's always been the first Saturday. Last year was like April the 5th. We will be doing a show down at Bixby's. If you don't know where Bixby is, it's College Avenue. Knickerbocker's used to be across the road. Well, actually, you know, Walk-In's Restaurant is. It's next door to Walk-In's Restaurant. And we're having Sassy's is going to be there. We got an opening for 2 more sponsors to come on down there and go live with us after the spring game. We always do the show for the spring game after the game because you got Clemson playing Clemson. And it's really not enough to talk about until after the game. You see the players. You see some of the new players get on there and get kind of a feel of what's going on in the upcoming season. So we always do a post-game show after the game. Usually we do a pre-game show. But for the spring game, it's post-game. And we're going to have 3 sponsors come up there, and we'll do that within about an hour and a half, 2 hours after the game. We'll be down at Bixby's live. So we appreciate all y'all that follow us. We appreciate all your support. We appreciate the sponsors. We're grateful for you. We thank God for y'all. Y'all make it possible to live this kind of dream. And I am blessed to be able to do this, and I'm so grateful to be able to do this. And I really appreciate everybody that supports us and doesn't support us. So whatever. Anyways, I'm rambling on. Love you guys. Mean it. And all God's children said, go Tigers. Until next time, see ya. Go Tigers and 215 Little John. Let's go Tigers.